question for you. Are you bored? Are you bored with your relationship, or are you looking for more spice?
Oh my. Let's get to the bottom of this. Personality profiler Dr. Richard Levak is here to tell us it might not all be bad. Good morning, Doc. Thanks for being here.
Bored is good?
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
Well, boredom has been studied not that much. And originally, psychologists thought that boredom was a bad thing.
Right.
When you're bored, you eat more, you drink more, you're more irritable. But recent research is showing that boredom does not have to be all bad, that it can stimulate you into action. Now, there are different types of boredom, but we can talk about that.
Well, what does it mean to be bored?
That's perfect. When you're bored, you are looking for stimulation. You're understimulated. Your mind wanders. Whatever you're doing isn't holding your attention. So, but there are different kinds of boredom. It's not just one kind. For example, a lazy winter day on a Saturday, you don't have much to do.
Oh, that's such a good boredom day.
I like those.
People might say, well, what did you do today?
Yeah.
Well, I was bored. It was a kind of boring day. Didn't do much, was in my PJs all day. That's not a bad boredom.
Okay.
Another kind of boredom is you're at a dinner party and the person just is going on and on and on and monopolizing the conversation. And you start to get restless and want to talk to the person next to you.
Right.
That kind of boredom is stimulating you into, I got to do something.
Sure.
And then there's a very bad kind of boredom where you're apathetic. Nothing feels right. You're in a relationship and your partner says, well, why don't we go to the beach today? There's parking problems, there's sand. Well, what about a picnic? Oh, I don't know. I don't want to.
That's a complainer, though. How is that being bored?
Well, over time, if you are bored in your relationship, you can, the worst kind of boredom is apathetic. You've given up. You're kind of angry, irritable, but nothing feels right.
Okay.
And one of the problems that we're seeing is kids, when we were younger, certainly when I was younger, you'd go outside and play. You'd find a stick, or you'd go make a den with whatever you find lying around.
Very true.
You'd stimulate yourself when you were bored. And if you said to your parents, oh, Mom, I'm so bored, she might say, go outside and do something. Whereas now, kids are not being taught to self-stimulate. They are passive, and they're given video games which stimulate them. So they're more susceptible to being bored because it's a skill that you learn, that when you're bored, you look for something.
You know, that's a really good point, because I was thinking about this too with parenting, especially nowadays. And Raul, I think we were talking about this. We're like stimulating the kids. Like they always need to do an activity or go do this or here's that, and then they just don't even know how to sit nowadays.
They don't know how to sit, and sometimes just sitting and thinking and making a mind game. Or sitting in the car. You remember when you were kids, you'd drive and your parents might play a game like look for everything beginning with A.
Right.
Yeah,
you know?
that's
And so in a relationship, it's going to be important if you're bored to stop and think, what kind of boredom is it?
Yeah, talk about the relationship a little bit too. Let's say you're with your hubby, your wifey, boyfriend, girlfriend, and you have that boredom feeling. You're saying it's okay to feel that way?
Yes. If you have days, Saturday, you wake up and you go, you know, I'm bored with what we do. Let's figure out something new to do. And it doesn't have to be very big. It might be going to a different place to take the dog for a walk. It might be going a different route for a walk. It might be going to a different place for breakfast. But couples tend to get into ruts where they go on automatic pilot. Now remember, boredom is not angry, nasty negativity. Sometimes couples just get into a rut. And that's dangerous. But it's good if you realize it and say, let's change it up a bit.
A lot of people say that's where you get comfortable in a relationship and you kind of stop trying. And that's why then we come back and we talk about, well, you got to keep dating, keep that alive. So everything's kind of connected, right?
The trouble is that most of life takes a little bit of work.
Yeah.
As you get older, people put on about £1 pound a year as they get older.
Starting when?
You have to work at not doing that. You have to work to keep your relationship spiced up a little bit.
Right.
And if you're bored, it's a great wake-up call. You're on automatic pilot. Wake up and spice it up a little bit. It doesn't have to be much.
Just enough.
Just enough
To keep it interesting.
Well,
and the other thing that's important for people to know is physical activity gives you a little rush of endorphins. If you do it with someone, if you do something stimulating with someone, then you like them better because they get the benefits of your endorphin rush. So get out there and do something.
Get out there and do something.
There you
We're
go.
going to do it today. Dr. Levak, you're never boring.
What?
746.